My girl is beautiful. And the guitar tunes, oh wow. And she's asking, Atin Heart, is Esuchi Lumumba taken?
That question sounds political, especially the emoji after it.
Okay, fine. Fine. As I said, guys, this is the juicy part about Lumumba. But Lumumba has also another side of story. But before you even discover another side of story, I know, when you look at this guy, is a guy you love to, especially if you're a lady, and I'm talking as a gentleman with no pun intended.
Okay,
This is a guy definitely that you will have to request for several nights before you can ask him out on a date. How about that guy?
Now, did you have to dig that?
Good evening. This is Likuyani Eli, and of course, the show on air is Eli's Hangout, and of course, it is against all odds. Tonight, it's a beautiful night. It's more about the foods and the taste, and of course, the aroma. We have a very special guest coming on show tonight. And come to think of it, I'm looking through my phone and I realize most of you are sleeping. So why not wake up your friends, tell them the show is on because it is time to talk to Jillian. Out of her passion to educate others on her African roots in a faraway land, Jillian embarked on a journey that tonight she calls the brilliant mind of my ethnic cooking in Germany. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of one lady that against all odds, she has set triumph in a faraway land in Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to bring you Jillian Pirot. Hello, Jillian. I have you on air. Good evening.
Hi, Ellie. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What is with the pink? Did you get a memo by any chance?
We are wearing the same colors. Wow, even the gray is also matching.
Even the gray. OMG, I think I'm supposed to be moving to Germany.
You're most welcome anytime.
How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
It's a chilly one. I don't know how it is, but in Belgium, it's quite chilly. So I hope you can enjoy a cup of coffee, but it's not coffee inside. It's just written coffee.
Yeah.
But the content is nothing close to coffee.
Yes. At the moment, I'm just drinking some hot water to detox myself.
Wow. What are you detoxing for? I mean, you've been very ethnic. All your meals are very well balanced. What are you detoxing from?
Once in a year, at least I try to go into a hot water, or rather just drinking water and veggies to detox,
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay, fine. That is awesome. And of course, it is a pleasure to have you on the show tonight. Guys, let's them know that we are live, because once you're live, we are not going to go and say, "Mulisema nini before to one say no. You'll have to catch up with the train because it's just left the station. Back to you, Jillian. And again, karibu sana to the show. Against all odds, you have an interesting name, Pirot. Are you willing to share with me why that name? You've muted your mic, Jillian. If you can allow me to manipulate it later on, it will be great. Yes, just click on it and try to unmute it. Yeah. Fine. We're gonna help Jillian sort that out. In the meantime, let's allow Jillian to unmute her microphone because it's giving us some technology issues there. And in the meantime, I want you to listen to this. Okay. I think now we are good, and my guest is ready again. That is Nditsanga by Julie Mumia. Get on YouTube, watch it, and of course, she's having lovely lyrics over there. So we are back, Jillian. I hope now we can have a. Don't touch the microphone, Jillian.
Because you have muted here.
Yes, I will operate it from my end. Otherwise, we're gonna
That's
play
better.
the picky ponky kind of donkey. So, Jillian, before we got interrupted, I was just trying to establish why Pirots, and if you don't mind sharing that part of name and why, because it's kind of complicated name.
No, my full names are Gillian Luangu Pirot. So Luangu is my maiden name, and Pirot is my marital name. So I was married, and my husband was called Pirot. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2017. So I decided to keep the name.
Oh, that's a good way to keep his memory, and may his soul continue resting in peace. So,
thank you.
You moved to Germany, and one of the things that anybody that has crossed the borders, they come to experience, it's culture shock. Did you experience that upon arrival? And if you did, what was the major one, if not food?
Yeah, the culture shock, I think everybody experiences the culture shock. For my case, it was going to the supermarket to do some shopping. And in Kenya, you get the shopping basket free of charge, but in Germany, you have to put €1. Those days, 1 D-mark, so that you can release the basket. And I ended up pulling a whole roll of baskets, and it was such a sight, and people were taking pictures. That was for me the major one, because until today, it's I have to think about that part of the culture shock. Yes.
So you are there, and a whole trolley is following you. What did the mister by then look at you? He's like, oh no, I just brought the whole of Africa into Europe or something?
No, that time I was a student. That was way back in the 90s. I was a student.
Yeah.
I had just landed because I came into Germany as au pair for 1 year. Yeah. And then I became a student. Yeah. And that was the first month when I arrived. That's when this incident happened to me, and I've never forgotten it until today. So, but by the time I met my husband, I was already speaking the language. I knew a lot about the German culture and the country. So, yes.
And for those who do not know, Gillian here happens to come from a land that adores some interesting meals and sumptuous, if I can call them. How did you cope up with a lot of, what do you eat in Germany? What is the normal culture meal there? Because here in Belgium, it's potatoes with this, then potatoes with that, and then potatoes with that.
Yeah, the Germans also have a lot of potatoes. It's like the staple food, and you have like 100 recipes for German way of making potatoes. And then the famous meat they eat is Schnitzel. I don't know if you know it. It's like you take a piece of steak, you heat it until it's flat, put it in some eggs, and then you put it in some breadcrumbs and fry it. Then they call this Schnitzel. And also it depends. It depends on the area. If you're from the southern part, they eat something called Spätzle. Spätzle, that is the German kind of spaghetti. It's not. It's the ingredients are almost the same as the Italian one, but they don't put it into rolls. They cut it into pieces. So you cut the pieces as you drop it into water, and after it cooks, you eat it with mushroom sauce. Yeah.
Okay.
Now
Thank you for that. No. Thank you for that description. But I really want to go to my ethnic cooking and the idea behind it, because you're not just, and for those who have doubts, you're not just but a professional cook, you have other profession. So kindly mention to me about your profession if it doesn't make you get into trouble with your boss, of course. And then you can
No.
talk to me about ethnic cooking.
When I first came to Germany, after finishing my au pair time, I went into college and I trained
What
as
is
an
au
event
pair?
manager.
Because I'm trying to find it in my English, but I don't find it anywhere.
Au pair, that is it's a process that, or rather, it's a program that you do it between 18 and 21. These days, it's 18 and 21. You come into a German family, you learn German, and you help take care of their kids. There are some who go to an extent of you do housework and stuff. But in my case, I joined this family. They were very good to me. They also paid for my college and everything. So I used to take care of their children, rather grandchildren, and I would live there for free. Even when I went into college, they allowed me to stay with them for free. So I was not paying any rent. I was not paying any food. So I was really saving a lot of money. And so this is a program. You come to Germany and you stay with the family on the condition that you must learn German. Yeah. So maybe in some cases like today, if you come in as au pair, they will not let you come to a Kenyan family because they will assume you'll be speaking Swahili and English, but they want you to speak German. So you must find a German family. Where
So
you
so what you're trying to tell us is that actually where you are not one of those that decided to go to Mombasa and then on the beach you looked left, you looked right, then found an older gray guy looking, and then bam, you arrived. Visa.
No. My case was a bit different because when I was in high school, I learned French. My dream was to go to Paris. But there was one lady, a good friend of my mom, who used to visit us every year. And one time she asked me, when you finish high school, what will you do next? And I was like, I'm waiting to go to university. Then she told me, you can come to my home for 1 year. You can stay with my grandchildren. If you like it, you can do study in Germany or go to Paris, as you've already, because Paris, from Germany to Paris is just it's 2 hours, by train. Yeah. So actually, when I got to Germany, I started learning the language and I found it quite interesting, and I decided to stay.
So you stayed, and then it comes to you are working. I believe you're working in a bank.
At the moment, yes, I'm working in an international bank as a events manager and a senior administrative officer. And there I organize a bunch of events, and it really fits into my side hustle because with my side hustle, I also organize events for myself.
So actually, I think you were born in the wrong region, because where we come, we only but consume. But again, you decided not just to consume, because you are in the events managing and everything and organization. You decided to cook your own meals and supply them. Wewe uko na ujanja ukikuyu mahali.
No, I just thought, actually, when I started the cooking classes, I was a fan of going to cooking classes myself. And when I went to cooking classes, I realized in Germany, there's no cooking class. There's no cookery school or something. And I decided to start it myself because while I was doing the cookery classes and also introducing my friends and colleagues to African foods, there was this assumption that African foods are not healthy. So I took it upon myself to show them that we really have healthy foods. And actually, foods grown in Kenya or in Africa, most of them are bio. We don't put a lot of fertilizers compared to the foods that are here. And most foods here are genetically manipulated. So you don't have the real taste of the food. So for me, it's part of teaching people about my culture and also telling them, here we are, our foods are healthy. And also at the moment, I keep getting these questions, do you have vegan and vegetarian? And I'm like, yes, we have a lot of very, very healthy vegetables. Look at simple sukuma wiki. Sukuma wiki, many people think sukuma wiki is food for poor people. But actually, sukuma wiki is one of the vegetables that has very high fiber, and fiber is very good is a very good part of our nutrition. We have njahe, black-eyed peas or white-eyed peas, what we have in Kenya. All these are very high fiber foods that we have, and we ourselves, we also have to realize that we really have very, very rich foods, not genetically manipulated foods.
Great. Yes. I want to go to the comment section, just get to know what people are talking about, and then after that, we have some questions for the audience. So make sure you tune in, because you just might walk away with something. So all the way, Kiproroda says Nancy Magen. Okay, fine. I think I will ask Jillian to read that for me.
Du bist herzlich willkommen. Who is welcome now? Nancy Magen, du bist I think she's is that Kiprotich or Kipruto?
Kipro Roda.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, I cannot see so well. He's telling Nancy Magen, you're very welcome. I think very welcome to the show or something. I don't know.
Okay. Apua, it's not our tongue, so to go to sawa.
But Ope, that program has really helped a lot of Kenyans, I have to say.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, if you make use of the opportunity, for me it was a very good stepping stone into Germany. Yes.
Okay, great. I'm just trying to sample out there, so don't mind. The good thing about our audience is they get to interact and also become friends within the chat, so it's okay. We allow that.
Yes.
Fine. I see Salama who says it's ope, wacheni kujiaibisha. Mimi sijui ope ni nini.
It's au pair. You pronounce it as au pair.
Au pair. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Au pair. So you are pairing with a family. Hapo pa mushrooms, nahamia huko. Very. Okay, thank you so much, Zena. Vero, Susan, Noreen, Nancy, we have, and everybody that is tuned in, Kwach Lit Lidonde. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I'm going to ask you quite some questions, Jillian. But before you do that, I need us to play something here. And find out if people have the good memory. So my question to you, if you're watching, is type sijari. Gillian has been to one of our shows before, and the show is Art in Heart, which airs every single Friday. My question to you, my audience, is what show name was it, and what meal did Gillian prepare? The question, the name of the show, rather the title of the show. I'm not saying Art in Heart. Art in Heart is the whole thing, but that particular show, what was the title of that show? And question number two, what meal did Jillian prepare on that live show? If you have the answer, remember to give it with the hashtag Art in Heart or responding to live. I'll give you a hint. The show was aired on the 14th of February 2021. Jillian.
It was not exactly on the 14th. It was, I think, a day. We aired it on a Friday, and the 14th was on a Sunday, I think.
The 14th was on a Sunday. Let me just check my calendars then, because sometimes Ellie gets away over himself. Then people start saying, "Yeah, you see, he did this, he did that." When was the 14th? I believe 12th. It was the 12th.
12th was on Friday. We aired it on 12th, and then 14th was the Valentine's Day, and that was on a Sunday.
Ah, awesome. So we had the Valentine's edition on the 12th. So we aired it on a Friday, and Jillian was there live cooking. What meal did she prepare, and what was the title of the show's name that night? Give us the answers in the comment section. Let us know if you can remember a thing, and if you do, remember the hashtag is Art in Heart responding to live. Back to you, Jillian. So tell me the journey behind ethnic cooking.
When you talk about the journey, is how I started it.
Yes.
And okay, good. My ethnic cooking started as visiting friends and family members to cook different African dishes. So I used to visit friends here in Germany, in Ghana, and we would cook Ghanaian food, or they would come to my place and we would cook Kenyan dishes. And at some point, we were being joined by people from other nationalities like Germany, Russia, and everything. And at some point, I got an inquiry. Somebody invited me to his family's place. They were celebrating their father's 50th birthday. And they asked me if I could cook for 30 people. And that's how I started my business. And I because that evening when I went to cook, I brought in my ingredients. I started cooking for the family, and I also didn't know how much to charge. I only had the price for the ingredients, but I didn't know what else I'm supposed to charge. So that's why I started my research to find out how much I should charge and how much I'm going to collect at the end of the day. And I realized it was good money. And I was like, wow, I'm sitting on assets, not liabilities. So,
Oh, you know that can mean anything. Sitting on
no,
assets,
no,
but
no,
it's
no,
okay.
no, not the way you think. Eh?
Yeah,
In
go
terms
ahead.
of food, I just thought if I start cooking for people and making money, this is an asset. In terms of the talent that I have, it's because I'm not a professional chef, but from my talent and the passion, I'm able to teach people how to cook, and I've been accepted in the society, and I'm getting inquiries. People are curious, and also a great deal that I've also had to do is a lot of networking within the German community. So they're able to see what I cook, and I also bring samples, or sometimes I have to sacrifice and invite them to just come and see how I do the cooking. And later on, after doing this sample kind of or demonstration, I always end up getting a big contract to cook with companies, or for team building, or for, like now that we have the lockdown, we have to do to work from home. There's some people who just need that company to have a small talk with their colleagues, not through presentations, but through food, through the stomach. So
For the stomach.
yes.
And most, I mean, it's a very old saying that everybody knows. The way to a man's heart is through the stomach. I don't know if you've tried that, but if you haven't, try it with me. Moving forward, Jillian.
Yes.
I don't love food that much. That's why I'm saying if you haven't tried, you will fail on that, because food is not my friend. But then again,
that's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. That's why I'm keeping lean all the time. Everybody asks me, but Ellie, you've been this for far too long. And I say, yes, it's because of reasons that I cannot disclose. So Jillian, you are here and you've started My Ethnic Cooking. I think one of the most common misused words, especially in our society, is what we call the soul food. What is the story behind the soul food?
Soul food came about through, especially in the southern part of the United States, where most of the slaves had to lead their unfortunate, sad lives. And you can imagine these are people who've been kidnapped or taken away from their homes. They come to this strange country. They first of all don't know what this strange country has to give for food. And on top of that, the slave masters were giving them leftovers. So from these leftovers, they had to get creative and try to cook something out of it. Because even when you look at the cooking books that were written by the slaves at that time, it was they're writing it according to how they understand it. Like sometimes I always when I do cooking classes for soul food, I always have to retranslate the cookbook, because it was really they pass the message, but sometimes it's like you have to translate, because those days they are using other kind of measurements compared to now. And the soul food came about, the slaves trying to recreate these foods into something that they could eat, and they were also being rationed. When they would get like corn flour, it was being rationed, and also it depended on the gender. For men, they were getting a bit more than the women, and then it was rationed to, this should be enough to feed you for a week. Like they would have 7 kilos, enough for a week. You don't know how many children the slaves had, because the masters owned everybody, and what you get is what you eat. And that's how soul food came about. So when I see restaurants being opened and somebody calls soul food and tells me it's food for the soul, whereby it has nothing to do with the food for the soul. It's just that it's an unfortunate part of our Black history that's how the food came about. And if you look at it now, people are celebrating very delicious recipes from the soul food. Like my favorite is the lamb soup, or the fish. What is it? Fish croquettes. what is put? Now I'm mixing German and English.
I will not help you. Don't worry. I will not help you in that.
Dark croquettes, and then a ginger cake. I love ginger cakes. The ginger cake, ginger lemon cake. These are some of the things that they came about, and most of it was from the farms, the plantations they were working on. You know. Yeah, so this is just a short story. I can explain how the soul food came about, and this is part of the cooking classes, the cooking courses that I give. I also give cooking courses on how food affected us during the colonial periods in Kenya. Because in Kenya, we now famously eat ugali. We say ugali is our staple food.
Not just Kenya, especially from the region I come from. Ugali
ugali is our
over time
food.
It has been accepted throughout the country as staple food. But what is the story behind ugali?
Ugali, we used to eat it with millet and sorghum. Yeah. Then the Portuguese slave trader Vasco da Gama brought in the white corn. He brought in the white corn from Brazil because he was collecting these things and exchanging them for slaves and leaving it in the country. Yeah. So we adapted the white corn, and we keep thinking that ugali was originally white corn. It was not. And that's why at the moment when you come to my cooking classes, I will cook your ugali with millet or sorghum to stay traditional, because one thing, millet and sorghum, it's very high in fiber, which helps us in the digestion. It's also very high in fiber, and this fiber also helps us with different, it has different nutritional advantages compared to the starchy corn. Yeah.
You know, Jillian, every time somebody gets to test a meal, and that can be seen in children too, the first reaction is always, ew, what is that? Do you have this with your ethnic meals that you prepare, especially with foreigners, if I can call them, and foreigners I mean by the locals in Germany?
They're curious about testing the food, and at some point I thought I should adapt the foods to the German style of cooking, but I remember I had a cooperation contract with one of the biggest cooking schools in Frankfurt called Genuss Academy. It is a very well-known big school. And I had a cooperation contract with them, and they requested me to go and do African foods consultancy. And when I would go to cook with them, and they told me, Jillian, leave your food as it is. Yep. If the food has chili, teach them to cook with chili, you know? Because like you'll find like some foods, like if you look at things like pizza, I don't know, these mushrooms. Yep. When you come here in Germany, you find somebody cooking mushrooms with a lot of cream. I don't like a lot of cream. So these are the kind of adaptations many foreigners do to fit to the German taste buds, as I can call it. Yep. But in my case, I've realized that I'll leave the food as original as it is. If somebody likes it, good. If not, also good. But so far, so good. I've not really, I've only had situations where somebody would tell me, I have groundnut allergy, you know, peanut allergy.
Peanut allergy.
These are the few. Yeah, but of course, this one I always ask before I start the cooking classes. I always write an email to the clients, and I tell them, please let me know about your dietary requirements. And there are those who tell me I have allergies to tomatoes, I have allergy to carrots, such things. And this allergy just comes about because our foods at the moment are genetically manipulated. Otherwise, if I'm in Kenya, I can eat carrots without any issues because foods in Kenya are not genetically manipulated. But come here, the foods, it's different.
It's different. And as we talk about the foods being different, I can see a lot of conversation happening in the comment section. For those that are joining us, we asked what meal did Jillian prepare in our previous show on Art in Heart, and what was the title of that particular show? Remember, your answer has to be correct, and for it to be correct, you equally must include the hashtag Art in Heart or responding to live. And for that one, especially Nancy, who is saying she would love to have cooking lessons because she's tried to cook chapati and mandazi. She's not Kenyan. This could be it, because we will be offering 2 winners a chance to attend an online lesson with ethnic cooking courtesy of Jillian for free. On normal occasions, you'll pay quite hefty for that. So Keep trying. And I see people are disappearing to go to watch the show and then come back to give us the answers. Come on, you can do better than that. You can do better than that. So, of course, we are hanging out with Gillian Pirot, Frau Pirot, on Ellie's Hangout. Yeah, voila, on Ellie's Hangout. And we are talking about her journey and, of course, her realization of my ethnic cooking, which is best in Germany. A great Kenyan doing great stuff, home, away from home. So we're going to take a short break. And on this short break, allow me to bring you again this song by very lovely Julie Mumia, and enjoy the lyrics. And if you do, kindly get to YouTube, subscribe, and of course, remember to subscribe to both. Sio moja peke yake. Have a look. Of course, that is Nditsanga by Julie Mumia. Of course, head on YouTube, subscribe. That lady has beautiful songs. I think Jillian is loving this because it speaks to her heart. Ama namna gani?
Oh yes, oh yes. The lovely, beautiful song, danceable, of course, for the Luya community.
Yes.
My shoulders are twitching.
You know what I love about it is the authentic nature of the song and the lyrics and the way they have been arranged and performed. It is beautiful. That's why we are talking about things being so ethnic and how authentic they sound once they brought to life. So back to you, Madame Gillian. And we were discussing a lot of things here, and people are here talking about this conversation and also the song. Thank you so much. So far, we have some answers. You want to see what people are saying about the question we asked?
I'm very curious. Yeah.
Kipro has been going off and on, and I can tell because she's been disappearing to go and make her research. She says the Valentine's edition, evolution of dating. Miss Pihot made kuku wa kushono, I believe, and the hashtag is art in heart.
Wow. Good memory.
Good memory. You think she's close to the answer? Let's see who else was there. We only said we take two of them. Zena says Valentine's edition, and she made us kuku wa kushonwa. Okay, fine. Wow. You forgot something. What do we do about it, Jillian? She forgot the hashtag. Fine, let's make it easier for her. Okay, Zena, this is your prize if you can answer the following question. I hope you're listening keenly. This is your prize if you can answer the following question. What is the YouTube channel of ethnic cooking? What is the name of the YouTube channel of ethnic cooking? Remember the hashtag art in heart, and equally share it in the comment section. If you get that right, you are the second prize winner. The first prize winner, of course, is Kipro Roda. And what is she getting again, Jillian?
She's getting a free online cooking course. She wanted to learn how to make chapatis.
No, that was somebody else who didn't put in effort. But you can tell her, we can always arrange.
We can negotiate.
And you give her the lesson that with what you have, right? So Kipro, congratulations. You won yourself a free lesson courtesy of My Ethnic Cooking Germany. Even better because it's within your reach. Okay, fine. So Zena, if you can get the answer to the question I've asked you, I will be waiting for it so that we can actually make this thing roll. And for those who missed out on that edition, I want you to take a look because it was oozing sweet. I know Lumumba and Lumumba is really gazing at the screen. I understand you, brother. I understand you. I understand you. It is not your fault. Okay. And to be sure that she actually gave the correct answer, take a look.
My name is Jillian from My Ethnic Cooking and Catering in Frankfurt. Today, for today's Valentine's Day special, I'm going to show you how to prepare kuku wa kushonwa. That's a specialty well known around the Kenyan coast and Tanzania. So I'd like to give you back to the studio and welcome and enjoy a lovely evening of Valentine's Day. Thank you very much.
Yes, we have the Tukona City, so it's true. It was the Valentine edition, but the correct title of that episode was dating, evolution of dating 2, and we aired it on the 12th of February 2021. You can always go to YouTube because we have it on the Arts in Heart official YouTube channel, and you can rewatch and enjoy the moments. Back to you, Jillian. So umeona watu wako na memory mzuri, wamesaidika.
That's very good. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. At least
I'm
you
happy.
guys are. We are happy that you actually following through what you're doing, and thank you so much for your
And
loyalty.
it's also a good sign of appreciation. It's a good sign
Definitely.
that they are appreciating your program and what you're doing wherever we are as Kenyans.
Thank you so much. And Zena is asking me the question. The question is, what is the name of Jillian's my ethnic cooking channel? What is the name of YouTube? The YouTube name, right?
Yes.
Okay, Zena loves Swahili. Let me put it. Kwa jina la channel ya YouTube ya dada yake Jillian yaitwa vipi? Andika kwenye comment section, kisha tutakuzawadia. We have put it away just for you so that you can win this takeaway. Fine. And everybody else is feeling happy for Kipro Roda. Thank you so much. Everybody that is happy and unhappy, you can always try next time. There are always some things coming out. And everybody that is watching on the multi pages that we are streaming on, including on Tina Kage's page, thank you so much. The likes of Samuel Kiria, Robert Onjal, Roman, Mimi Meza, Padeshe, thank you so much. She loves this song. So, Jillian, life has not just been rosy, and especially after you lost your husband along the way, and things changed here and there, and being a single mother. How has been that journey, and what have you learned through the progress?
It was definitely not easy, and what I learned about going through this journey is that it is good to talk to people, the right people. That's again another thing. So the good thing is that, like, if I look at my son in his school, they offered me a consultation, like to talk about the situation. Is there anything that I need to get help with, and all this kind of stuff? And they gave us regular appointments to talk about the situation and also to find help in any way, because as a single mom working in a bank and then cooking over the weekends, that was a bit tough to coordinate. So I also got help, like when I'm too busy, I would get a babysitter paid for, or I would share the costs with the government. And I have to say, I'm grateful also to the German government because they really tried to make it as easy as possible for me. And also I have to say great thanks to my family, who are, although some of them are very far away back in Kenya. I have my sisters in the UK and the other one in Belgium. They keep close contacts. They were coming over, they were checking on me, or they would be like, if you're feeling low, you just come to our place. So we would have this kind of exchange, visiting each other. And this was really empowering. And of course, the regular phone calls I have with my family members back in Kenya. And this, I have to say, my family has been a strong pillar, and the right friends that you choose, or the correct people that you speak to, have been a strong pillar through my journey. It's not been easy. And also, if you look at the situation with racism, also in Germany, it also depends on how you take it, because my son is also half black, half white. So these are also the issues that you have to tackle every day. And you have to keep talking to your children on how to go about this kind of situations, so that they avoid misunderstandings, and they don't keep wondering, why am I like this, or they look down upon themselves. So it's up to you as the parent to keep motivating the child, to keep to build up the confidence in the child. Meaning, if something happens in school, it should be, and your child talks to you about it, it should be great if you'd go to the school and try to find out what exactly happened, because I've had cases of where a parent would tell the child, you should thank God you're in Germany, but that's not the case. As much as you're in Germany, there are these obstacles of racism, which is not easy on children. Even look at yourself as a parent, a grown person. It's hard on you, then how should it be easy on the child, So you always have to find a way of talking to people and taking action.
So I believe you've been away from Kenya for quite some time now, and do you feel or think you want to go back home and do what you're doing here and try change and make change in our country, especially with what is happening there, with all the uncertainties of life?
I go to Kenya every year, except for last year due to Corona, but every year I'm in Kenya. And yes, it's my dream to settle back at home, let's say like in 10 years. But I want to do it 50-50.
But is it not strange because everyone that is back home, they want to go away from home, and everyone that is away from home, I don't say everyone, but most people that are away, they want to go back. Why?
It depends on your mindset because how can I say? Bad things are everywhere. Negative situations are everywhere. It can be in Kenya, it can be in Germany.
Yeah.
I know people who've come all the way from Kenya, they're in Germany, and they're having their worst times in Germany as they were in Kenya.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen to anybody. So it's just your mindset and it's how you plan yourself. Because before you go back home, I tried to go back home way back in 2006. Things didn't work out because I didn't do a proper research. I did not brainstorm. I just woke up one day and I thought I had to go back home.
Tell me exactly what you did, because this is already briefed enough. Give us a story with that 2006. What went to your head and you decided I want to go home, and bam, shock on you?
Actually, that time my husband wanted to go to Kenya because he was really super in love with Kenya. You know, for him, Kenya was the paradise. Kenya was everything. Yeah. So I just said, okay, for the sake of family, let's all go back to Kenya. We started a company, but things didn't work out well because, you know, you spend a lot of money on corruption. If you want to register a company, you have to pay this one, you have to pay there. If you want to put up something, you have to pay this one, you have to put there. And then we also discovered that was just the time when NEMA, these environmental people had just coming up. My goodness. Because it was a factory, you also, and all these are the things we should have done a research about, especially putting up a factory that's going to produce things from raw materials to, you know. It was really tough because we really didn't do a research of what to expect. And of course, we asked the embassy, the Kenyan embassy, about this kind of information, but them, since they want to promote investors to go to Kenya, of course, they don't give you the full information of what is expected, you know. So it's like the investment plan you have is not what you end up investing. You know, so you end up losing a lot of money, and by the time you start recovering the money, it's too late. You're bankrupt. You know.
Whoa. What was the biggest amount? I know I'm not trying to say you're corrupt, but the situation might get you into such kind of situation. What is the biggest compromising situation you ever got to, and how much do you have to pay for things that actually didn't make sense?
Like just trying to get a space for the manufacturing the products, because we were producing things for interior decoration, like these things for putting in the corners of the house. You know, the finishing. You know, the finishing for the lamps, and we were producing finishing products or house accessories. When you finish your house, these are the final things you put in your house for finishing. So just to get a space for renting, you're paying this guy for rent, but the person connecting you to the rental premises also wanted to get something. And we're not talking about 1,000 Kenya shillings, you know? Yeah, so sometimes I had the impression when they saw the Mzungu, of course, the prices doubled up. There's some,
You know, I always tell people, and this is not out of malice, with the society we live in, especially in my country, if you go there and you're sick, the first question is, where do you work? I always tell them you're a house husband, worst case scenario. Because if you say, oh, like you just said that I work in a bank, boom, your price just became 70% extra.
Yes.
And you're sick or you need help. But does this frustrate you as somebody that wants to invest back home?
Yeah, it does, because all this money I'm wasting paying kitu kidogo here and there, I'd be employing people to do that job, you know? People would be having jobs. Yeah, but here's one person taking kitu kidogo, benefiting one person, whereby the same amount of money would benefit several employees in a lifetime, so to speak, you know?
In a lifetime, So that is done. It is water under the bridge. Do you intend to actually move ethnic my ethnic cooking back to your motherland, or you want to have it here forever? What is
No,
your
my ethnic cooking
final
in
plan?
Kenya, it will be a branch. The one in Kenya, it will be a branch. It will not, because I've permanently registered here in Germany. I've patented or taken, well, how can I call it? Yeah, I've patented the company. So the main headquarters for my ethnic cooking is Germany.
And
Yeah,
who
so
are
if I
you?
want to do,
Who are the kind of people you are looking to work with if you go back home and have a branch there, or a franchise for that matter?
I look to training people how to cook, and also try to work with different hotels, especially along the coast, to work directly, because like I learned that in Kenya, the Kenyan schooling system involves a lot of cramming, and the German school system involves a lot of practicalities. You have to be hands-on, you know. So this is the kind of thing I want to do in Kenya. It will not just be about theory, but it will also be a lot of practicals. So I would be organizing with hotels whereby my students would be going to different hotels to learn practically how to run the system, how to organize a real event, not a theory event, but here you are organizing a real event. You have the practical experience, you know, because in Germany, when you do this kind of things, it's already being counted as your years of experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, because in Kenya, you're there cramming and cramming. You just know by book how to organize an event. But if somebody throws it on your table to do it live, the situation is different, because you're faced with challenges. When you're organizing this kind of events, there are different challenges, you know. I've organized events where somebody tells me, yeah, I'm traveling all the way from the US. Can you organize for me to get diabetes injection in your country? I do cooking courses. How am I coming about with diabetes injection? So, you know, what do you do in this case? This is a challenge that I was not expecting.
You cook them
you know?
food that has low sugar levels.
No, what he wanted is that I should try to connect him to a doctor who would get diabetes injections. But, you know, I was sitting, because at the end of the day, I understood the guy, because he's coming to Germany. They speak German.
Yeah.
So I, being the person who speaks German, it was really suitable that I could organize for him for a doctor to give him these injections, you know? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The practical point of view is very different from theory.
Yeah.
And this is what I want to promote in Kenya. When I open up the branch in Kenya, I would like people to do practical cooking, practical. It will be mostly practical.
Is this something you foresee in the near future, or do you want to do it when time allows?
It's something foreseen in the near future. Not immediately, but I want the business in Germany to stabilize, because my ethnic cooking in Germany is now 2 years old. People think it's longer, but it's just 2 years old.
With all the data I see, I actually thought you've been there for ages and decades, but chapeau.
It's just 2 years. It's just 2 years old, and I want it to be stable in Germany, so that with the stability here, I can use it to branch out in other countries. And of course, I also do the foodie tours, because I go to different countries, or even here in Germany, I cooperate with different restaurants where we do a cooking show together, cooking their specialty, you know. So I also have this other part of my project that's called Jillian Foodie Tours, where I go to different restaurants and I cook with them. I also provide a bit of consultation on how somebody can improve their clientele or their business process, because yeah, especially the business process, because most of the African restaurants, some of them, there's some that are very professional and very good, but there's some whereby when a customer comes in, by the time they go to the customer and just ask the customer, what would you like to drink or what would you like to have, it takes like 10 minutes. This should not be happening. You know, you should be anxious to have clients. And when a client comes in, immediately you show them the table. But there are cases whereby a client walks in and they have to find their own table, which is, you know, so
I think
it involves
the best people you will have actually taken to train this and it to be practical are those ladies that work in M-Pesa shops. Kwani nafikiri ni wewe peke yako?
Usiniharibie CV.
Fine. Jillian.
Yes.
A lot of ladies out there, young ladies, and want to do what you're doing. What is your thumb rule to them if they want to be as successful as you are? I will call you successful, or
Thank you.
try to pursue their dream just like you're doing. What will be your thumb rules for attaining such?
You have to plan. First of all, okay, you have a goal. You want to do A, B, C, D. Sit down, put down your notes, and plan. Planning is the main. I can't even call it the basic need. It's very important to plan, because if you don't plan, you'll fail. You know, and your dream belongs to you, because there's always an issue whereby you start something and everybody's on copy and paste mode.
Yeah.
And when you copy and paste, then you realize you fail. You don't know why you're failing. So if it is your idea, you have to custom make it to fit your dreams and make sure it succeeds. Because like I'm doing a cooking course for African dishes. Yeah. Somebody else will also do, but everybody will have their own unique concept that will bring the customers to them. Yeah, so believe in your dreams, make sure it is special, and plan.
How do you believe in dreams in a society that is now concentrating all its efforts on fighting Corona?
I think there's always a way in every situation. There's always a way. Like with me, looking at myself, I used to give cooking courses in a kitchen, offline.
Yeah.
When you'd come to that kitchen and ask me, how would you do it online? I'll tell you, no, I don't do that kind of thing, you know? But here I am, due to Corona, I had to renovate my home kitchen, and now I use my home kitchen for online cooking courses.
Yeah.
But before then, I was very sure I can only do this offline. Yeah. So it's like you have to be creative all the time, and you have to adjust and make the best out of everything. You can't just give up and lay your tools down. Money has to come in one way or the other.
Money.
Yes.
It's about the money. La 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 la.
And also the passion. If it's your passion, you can't let it go.
Passion and going to work and making sure every single day you take a break at a time. It doesn't just happen overnight. No. Let's go back to the comment section, and Samuel Aguko, thank you so much. He's watching us from YouTube. Thank you so much. Finally, there's somebody here who was asking you a question. By somebody, I'm trying not to over-mention names. Let's see. Yes, we have Kipro Roda here who says, have you been to Cologne or Aachen? If
Cologne
yes,
or Aachen.
Cologne or Aachen. Yeah, sorry. If yes, what did you cook or learn from there?
Cologne and Aachen. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I know the cities very well. Cologne, it's just like 1 hour's drive from my place. I've not done a foodie tour there yet. Because I do my cooking courses here in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
But Cologne is a town. It's known for, people there are very jovial. They don't have this German conservative.
They drink a lot of beer. They drink a
lot of beer. They're jovial. They have the best festivals like the Carnival. I love to go to Cologne to celebrate.
To go to the
it's
Cologne
beautiful.
One, yeah. And also the Christmas market.
Exactly. So in terms of Aachen, I know it because it's always on my way to Belgium. When I go to visit my sister in Belgium, I pass through Aachen. It's not one of my favorite cities. I don't find it beautiful, but
that's your personal opinion.
That's my personal opinion. But Cologne, I love Cologne, and all the media houses are in Cologne. Marketing agencies are in Cologne. You know, it's a lovely city. If I would not be living in Frankfurt, I would live in Cologne. Let me just say so.
Awesome. So for Nancy, who wants to cook chapatis and mandazi, or she's tried it and sometimes she feels like she didn't do it correctly, what do you want to tell
her? Practice makes perfect. You have to keep practicing and keep trying all the time. And if you're stuck, you can ask me and we can chat on Zoom or something. And but you know, as much as I can teach you how to cook, you have to keep repeating the recipes on your own to perfect it. Yes.
Talking of recipes, are there any that are out for public use that somebody can get onto them, or they must terms and conditions apply?
I don't charge anything for the recipes. If you want a recipe, I just give it to you. But because in the cooking courses I cook different things. Yeah, there are times I cook food from Ghana, there are times I cook from Nigeria, from Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya. So recipes, it's like, first of all, you can get it anywhere on Google. But in my case, I've written a book, a cookery book, whereby my recipes are from the different African countries. So the cookbook is in German and English.
Yeah.
Actually, I've sent some to Kenya. I think somebody in Kenya will start selling them next week.
Oh, okay.
If somebody's in Kenya, I could send you the contacts of the person you can buy from, and then you can buy them. You can buy the real copy in Kenya.
Awesome. So, guys, there you have it. That is the beautiful Gillian Pichholz. She said she's been called a parrot before. She's been called Peralta, but she's Pichholz. That's a German name. Of course, the middle one excites me more, Wangu. If I was to change it, I would say Wangu. So let's continue having the conversation. Hit up on Jillian on My Ethnic Cooking on Instagram, and of course that's Ethnic Cook. And I'm really surprised that people actually didn't notice that all along we were actually passing the details of everything on the screen. It wasn't that difficult, right? YouTube, My Ethnic Cooking and Catering. And of course, you have her on Facebook, Instagram, and the handle is My Ethnic Cooking. If you just type that, you'll find Ethnic QUQ, and that's it. That's more of it. So thank you so much for coming to the show. Allow me to tell Zena, yes, you did a good job. And for that, you get credits. But next time, remember to include hashtag Art in Heart. I saw Sarah Njonjo was there with the correct answer, but it was too late because we made it specially for Zena to make some homework and find out what is the handle of My Ethnic Cooking, and she got it right. So stay around for the next one, and you never know. So it's been fun having you, Jillian. For those who missed out on the show, hit the replay button after this. Go onto our YouTube channel, subscribe. Remember to equally go to YouTube, My Ethnic Cooking and Catering. Subscribe because she has beautiful, amazing stuff happening there that you need to watch and learn. It's not just about fun and laughing, right? So, any parting shots from you, my dear, before nikufungie nje?
I just want to say thank you very much for having me for the second time on your wonderful, wonderful show. And I highly appreciate what you're doing for the African community, especially the artists, who, because in Kenya, or rather in Africa, we always think education is the only way to go. But in this case, I can see you're really promoting a lot of talent, a lot of music, a lot of cooking is also art. It's
very artistic, and I love it.
Yes, so I highly appreciate what you're doing for all of us, and thank you so much for having me. Have a nice evening.
It has been a pleasure. Remember, Nditsanga, again, we're going to do it for the last time. Hit it on YouTube, and guys, enjoy it. Remember, subscribe, share, and love or like the page. Who am I? Eli Likuyani is my name. See you next time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.